A high-ranking firefighter wrecks his department vehicle while he's off duty. And now, more than a year after the crash happened, 41 Action News investigator Ryan Kath uncovered his criminal case could get tossed out.
Krista, we've learned one judge's decision could affect the way drunk driving cases are investigated across the state of Kansas. And it could also allow an assistant fire chief to get away with it.
Saturday night, July 27, 2013. Assistant Fire Chief Mike Quinn zoomed through KCK in his department vehicle. Court records show he reached a speed of 78 miles per hour along South 55th Street, more than 45 over the speed limit. Just a few blocks from home, he lost control.
All I heard was a loud boom.
The collision jolted John Hayes off his couch.
Hit the curb, come down, hit that rock, and spun around, took the mailboxes completely out.
Hayes took us through the path of destruction, which included his antique pickup truck and several other vehicles. He says it could have been worse.
If that big rock wouldn't have been there, it would have went right through the window where I was sitting watching the 10 o'clock news.
Firefighters were first on the scene. They freed one of their own from the smashed up department SUV and rushed him to the hospital. KCK police arrived next. In courtroom audio the 41 Action News investigators obtained, a captain later testified about what happened when they found out who was behind the wheel.
A lot of us know fire department employees, including Mr. Quinn, and we thought rather than give any appearance of impropriety, we'd have some outside investigative function look into it rather than us.
So police called in the Kansas Highway Patrol, but a trooper didn't show up until 2 hours after the crash. He then went to the hospital.
Captain Nicholson requested that I complete a blood draw on the subject involved.
There, the trooper says Quinn agreed to that blood alcohol test. Even 3 hours after the crash, court documents show the results came back over the legal limit, prompting the Wyandotte County District Attorney to charge the assistant fire chief with drunk driving. But the 41 Action News investigators discovered a key development in the case, one that could allow Quinn to walk away from a conviction. His defense attorney argued that blood tests should be thrown out.
The trooper has to have some evidence that gets you to the probable cause that there alcohol or drugs was involved. So this has to be suppressed. It's not even close.
Even though Quinn consented to the blood test, his attorney argued the trooper violated his client's Fourth Amendment rights for unreasonable search and seizure. District Court Judge Aaron Roberts agreed.
It seems to me at this point, I think all the trooper knew that there was a wreck. I don't think that he knew whether Mr. Quinn swerved to avoid a dog or a child on the road.
The judge threw out the evidence.
Mr. Quinn, you're really lucky.
Ryan Kath with Channel 41. Okay.
Quinn declined to discuss the crash with us.
Are you able to talk about it?
I'd rather. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Meantime, District Attorney Jerry Gorman is continuing the legal fight with an appeal.
It's never good to establish bad precedent.
The DA admits the case is unique because it involves a high-ranking city official, but he also says it could have a ripple effect across the state.
The ruling that the judge made in the case, we feel, first of all, was wrong, respectfully, but we think it also hampers other cases.
Back in the neighborhood, there are still signs of the crash more than a year later.
It's really my first antique I've had.
And neighbors are still dealing with the headache of replacing damaged property. To them, it feels like they're getting punished while the assistant fire chief drives away without consequences.
I'll be pissed because it's like I say, it's not fair at all.
Quinn never went back to work after the crash, retiring from his $103,000 salary. His estimated pension, about $11,000 per month. And on his way out, he cashed in unused vacation and sick time for another $125,000 payout. Meantime, you, the taxpayers, picked up the tab to replace that damaged property. We'll, of course, track that appeal process and let you know what happens. Investigator Ryan Kath, 41 Action News.